Hello, my friends. Let's talk on the subject of expectations from other people. Are you ready? So let's begin. My friends, expectations from other people are essentially rooted in the absence of faith in Allah or traditional faith which lacks conscious relationship with Allah. I hope it is clear. My friends, a true believer relies upon Allah only. Of course, he or she builds bonds with other people but does not rely upon them. However, there is one exception. That is, when a person has a bond with someone or a relationship with someone in the name of Allah, then it becomes a completely different story. Let's see how. In chapter 8, verse 63, Allah says, "And He has united believers' hearts. If you had spent all that is in the earth, you could not have united their hearts, but Allah has united them. Certainly, He is Almighty, All-Wise." My friends, in this relationship, I mean the one referred to in this Quranic verse, there is no expectation. Rather, the nature of relationship is such that they just take care of each other. Why? Because this is the nature of bond they have with Allah and among themselves. I hope it is clear. My friends, a strong conscious bond with Allah is the ultimate thing that one can achieve on earth. There is nothing like it. In view of what I have shared thus far, we can safely say that if a person has a genuine conscious bond with Allah, he or she would never expect anything from people. Rather, one would always strive to be on the giving end. I mean, he or she would look for ways to help others rather than expecting things from other people. My friends, let's explore Quran now. What does Quran teach us about managing expectations from other people? The Quran emphasizes reliance on Allah and practicing patience, gratitude, and selflessness in relationships. My friends, the Quran offers guidance on concepts like reliance, interpersonal conduct, and managing relationships. My friends, let's explore the teachings of Quran related to human relationships, including expectations. Number 1. Reliance on Allah alone, not people. My friends, the Quran frequently advises believers to place their trust and reliance on Allah alone rather than on people. Human beings are fallible. I mean, they will make mistakes and therefore may not always meet our expectations. But Allah's wisdom and power are boundless. In chapter 65, verse 3, Allah says, "And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him." My friends, this verse encourages believers to trust in Allah and find contentment in knowing that Allah will provide for them in ways that humans may not be able to. I hope this is clear. Point number 2. We should seek contentment and patience. My friends, the Quran emphasizes the importance of patience, that is, sabr, and contentment with Allah's plan. When we expect things from people and those expectations are unmet, patience becomes key in maintaining emotional balance. In chapter 2 of Quran, verse 153, Allah says, O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. My friends, this verse teaches us that when expectations aren't met, the solution is to seek patience and turn to Allah for strength and support, rather than relying too heavily on others. I hope this point is also clear. Point number 3. We must avoid expectations and focus on doing good only. My friends, the teachings of Quran encourage believers to focus on their own actions and to do good selflessly without expecting rewards or recognition from others. In chapter 76, verse 9, the Quran states, We feed you only for the sake of Allah. We desire neither reward nor thanks from you. My friends, this verse speaks to the spirit of doing good deeds purely for the sake of Allah, rather than for personal gain or fulfillment of expectations from others. Point number 4. We must forgive and overlook others' faults. My friends, people may not always meet your expectations, and the Quran encourages overlooking their faults and being forgiving, promoting healthier and more peaceful relationships. In chapter 7, verse 199, Quran states, Show forgiveness, enjoin what is good, and turn away from the ignorant. Forgiveness and patience help manage disappointments when expectations are not met. And in this manner, Quran is fostering a spirit of mercy and understanding in relationships. Point number 5. We must pursue justice and fairness. My friends, while we are encouraged to trust Allah and show patience, the Quran also emphasizes fairness and justice in dealings with others, thereby implying that having reasonable expectations in the relationships and society is important. In chapter 4, verse 58, Quran states, God commands you to return that which had been entrusted to you to the rightful owners. Be just when passing judgment among people. God's advice is the most noble. He sees and hears everything. My friends, justice includes expecting reasonable behavior from others, but also giving people their due while remaining just and fair in expectations. I hope this is clear. In summary, we can say the Quran's teachings suggest that believers should place their primary trust in Allah and practice patience, forgiveness, and selflessness in relationships, rather than placing excessive expectations on people. My friends, humans are imperfect and may not always fulfill our hopes, but reliance on Allah brings peace and fulfillment. In short, the Quran encourages believers to manage their expectations of others by focusing on their own actions and turning to Allah for strength and guidance. My friends, before I close, I would like to share some of the thoughts expressed by spiritual leaders from other religious backgrounds. So let's explore this further. My friends, here are some of the important points made by spiritual teachers from other religions. Number 1. Expectations create suffering. My friends, when we have expectations from others, it's in terms of behavior, actions, or attitudes. These expectations often lead to disappointment. This is because people may not always act in the way we expect them to. And this gap between expectation and reality causes emotional pain. Point number 2. We should focus on inner strength. My friends, instead of relying on others to meet our expectations, wise people encourage focusing on building inner strength. When we create our own happiness and peace from within, we become less dependent on others to make us feel good or fulfilled. This shift from external dependence to internal self-reliance is key to emotional stability. Point number 3. Unconditional acceptance. Wise people promote the idea of unconditional acceptance of people and situations. We should accept others as they are without expecting them to change or behave in a particular way for our benefit. This helps in maintaining peaceful and harmonious relationships because we stop placing demands on others to meet our emotional needs. I hope it is clear. Point number 4. Giving without expectations. Wise spiritual people emphasize the importance of giving without expecting anything in return. Whether it's love, kindness, or help, the act of giving should be selfless. When we give with expectations, we risk feeling hurt or resentful if those expectations are not met. Point number 5. Detachment from outcomes. Wise people advise practicing detachment from outcomes. They advise that while it is fine to perform our duties or engage with others, we should let go of the desire for specific results or responses. This detachment brings more peace and less anxiety in our relationships. Point number 6. Relationships should be based on selflessness. My friends, relationships thrive when they are built on selflessness rather than on expectations. By focusing on what we can contribute to others, we create more harmonious and meaningful connections. Point number 7. Spiritual wisdom. Spiritual wisdom teaches us that expectations come from a sense of incompleteness within ourselves. The solution is to cultivate spiritual awareness, realizing that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external sources. My friends, let me summarize what I have shared from spiritual teachers of other religious backgrounds. In summary, I can say expectations from people often lead to disappointment and emotional suffering. Instead, we should build inner strength, practice unconditional acceptance, and giving without expectations. By letting go of the need for external validation or specific outcomes, one can experience more peace, happiness, and harmonious relationships. My friends, I hope it is clear by now that we should not have any expectations from people in general. Rather, focus on our internal strength to enjoy and live a fulfilling life. Thank you.